what I want, and consciously, my subconscious is fed the right way. So if I say I want to be a multi-millionaire, I control the what. The what is a multi-millionaire, and what actions am I taking in order to be a multi-millionaire. But as things happen, I let the subconscious take over, so it guides me into what it's going to take to become a multi-millionaire.
Oh, that's great. That is great. That is great to know. It's essential, and it helped me grow a lot as a person to understand those three components. And what system or structure would you compare these three elements to, as per example, and why?
Can you repeat that one more time for me?
What system or structure would you compare these three elements to, as per example, and why?
So the system or structure that I would compare the different minds to.
Yes.
Is that the question? So your conscious mind, and hopefully I'm answering the question correctly. But your conscious mind is really your now. It's your today, and your subconscious mind is sort of like what you're feeding. What's feeding you for you to be able to see the today, and then the subconscious mind is that power or that being that already knows and is telling you which direction to go. So if I were to compare that to a system, I would compare it to a parent and a child, right? So the parent has been on Earth longer, and the parent has been a child, and they understand what it takes to get to become an adult successfully, let's say, right? So the parent knows, just for examples purposes, the parent knows all things, right? The parent knows, if you take certain steps, and you understand these steps, you will be successful in school. You'll be successful at work, or whatever the case may be. And so you may consciously, if you're in a space, let's say, of academia, and you know that, what, I want, you tell your parents that I want to pass these classes, and your parent knows that it's not only going to take school. You have to go to school to study when you get home and do your homework. You're going to have to, do some tutoring. So these are the steps that the parent knows that you need to take. So the parent is the guide. So they take this step, take this step, take this step. But if you are only watching people who are not taking those steps, the person who's not taking those steps to be your subconscious, and if you're watching people on those steps, you consciously are not going to take those steps, and in turn, you're not going to be successful in school. But if you watch people who are taking those steps, and you say, you know what, I'm going to listen to my parents because they know better, and you follow what the parent says, the likeliness you're going to be successful in school. So it's a system where the one person, and you know what, I actually liken it to the Karate Kid. Right? If you've never seen the Karate Kid, it's a great movie, great inspirational movie where Mr. Miyagi is telling Daniel-san to do these things, to wash my car, paint the fence, doing these things. And Daniel-san is not understanding. Like, why should I paint the car? Why should I? No, you should do that. Why am I doing it? Luckily, he's obedient. He follows. He says, you know what? I'll even though I'm going against it, I'm gonna wash the car. I'm gonna do all these things, right? And by doing that, so Mr. Miyagi, as an example, is the super subconscious, because telling you it knows that if you follow that, then you'll get this result. So what happens is that by him following this, he's training his subconscious. Daniel's training his subconscious, to wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. So now he gets in a real life situation. He still doesn't understand why he should do these things, but he follows anyway. He gets in a real life situation, and consciously he feels like he doesn't know. Like, I don't know how to defend myself. But then when somebody throws a punch, he remembers to wax on. When somebody throws another punch, he remembers to wax off. He remembers the paint strokes, and that all comes together. So by him listening to the super subconscious, he's able to let the subconscious know what to do consciously when he's in that situation. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yes, you did make that very clear. Thank you, Mr. Ash Cash. So in your book, you utilize the famous quote, "You are what you think about most." Your success clearly identifies what you thought about most, but from time to time, everyone gets negative thoughts. And what was some of the negative self chatter or doubts that popped into your mind during your journey?
Oh man, like a lot of them, one, again was around age, was around, I'm too young, to like, why should I think that I should, become a manager or run a bank? Like, why should a bank trust me with millions of dollars because of my age, which is one. Two, a lot of us growing up in certain circumstances, we have a poverty mindset. So sometimes we don't think we're worthy. We see the success and then we become self-sabotaging. So now, at 24 years old, when I make enough money that I can move out the project, I look and say, like, do I deserve this? Do I deserve to move out the project? Do I deserve to live a certain lifestyle? You have survivor's guilt. But the biggest thing, because when I'm doing certain things to get out of my situation, and then I speak to friends and family, and I speak to them, and they might not necessarily be experiencing financial abundance, or even or not abundance, but abundance from a fulfillment of life. And then you internalize that these are people you care about, the people you love, and you feel guilty. You feel guilty for waking up first, going to sleep last. You feel guilty for having favor and being able to do certain things. So it's really about having that survivor's guilt, and just asking yourself why me, and it might sound crazy, but sometimes you get embarrassed about success. You in your mind you go to certain places, and you don't change, people change, right? So you may be the same person, and in fact, like, I've been the same person, but sometimes people look at your success and think that you change, and because of that, they react to you different, and then you look and you say, maybe I should dumb myself down. So there's a lot of negative self-talk that happens on that journey, but again, you just got to be comfortable. I think that part of journey is being comfortable with who you are, loving you, knowing that everybody has the same opportunities. No, I'm not better than anybody. No one's better than me. I have the same 24 hours as Oprah, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and if I gotta put in the work, and your blessings are your blessings. You just have to be able to work for it. So every single person is not a person living, or there's not somebody who's more advantageous than the other. We all have the same. Some may have started in different spaces, but at the same time, our mind creates our circumstance, so we all, live that life, the life of our dreams. And the great thing about it is that it's all relative, right? Not everybody wants the Rolls Royce. Success to some people might be, just being able to live comfortably. So there isn't a barometer. Say that Jace is more successful than Ash Cash or Joe Blow or whatever, because of the it's all relative to that person, and we have to all believe in ourselves and be confident enough to understand that our blessings are blessings. Whatever we put out to the universe, whatever wish we put out is what's gonna happen.
Okay, that was some really good information. What are some methods you practice to keep your mind clear of fear, worry, and self-doubt? And what role did your surroundings play in it all?
Absolutely. So, this is a ritual. Affirmations are real. The words that come at the end of "I am" are the most powerful words. So, we got to be careful of what we tell ourselves. We have to be careful of what we tell ourselves. So this is a practice that I practice. I've been practicing for a very long time. I practice it now. is that I use affirmations. So every morning I have a list of goals, a list of things that will happen in my life, and I read them in the affirmative. I say I am, a New York Times bestselling author. I am a multimillionaire. I am an Emmy Award winning television host. I am a national radio host. I am the leading authority on personal finance. So when you say I am, and you continue to tell yourself that over and over, you start to believe it, right? Because it works opposite. If you keep telling yourself what you can't do, you'll believe that as well. So when you start telling yourself what your capabilities are, you use it in the affirmative. Eventually, a lot of the pieces start to work to get you to that space. I also make sure I limit the type of music and books and entertainment that I feed myself, because I think that there is no difference between if I'm watching a movie and I'm afraid, if it's a scary movie and I'm afraid my heart and my mind reacts the same way as if I was in the street and physically afraid. So there is no difference. So I limit the amount of time I spend, with, I limit the amount of time I spend reading or with entertainment. I have a Audible.com subscription that I get once a month. I get a book, an audio book. That, I'm driving a lot, so I don't have time to necessarily, read physical books. But I listen to self-development. And as a motivator, I'm motivated. So I listen to self-help books, to different, motivational books. And, and the most important practice I do also is that I meditate. Every night, I meditate. And meditation, some people joke about meditation, say the power of meditation, but meditation is just simply quieting the mind. When you go out in the world, a lot of noise out there, whether it's other people's opinions, whether it's society, whether it's media, whether it's music, distractions out there. So you need to be able to quiet your mind and allow that subconscious to talk to you and tell you what the next step should be. So I do that religiously as well, just to make sure that I'm always, I'm always in tune, I'm tapped into myself.
Great. I love meditation. Absolutely love it. I love how you decoded the meaning of being financially free, and then you go on to say financial freedom is a mindset. What do you mean by it being a mindset?
Because again, sometimes people allow other people's opinions to skew, what they believe financial freedom is, right? So, financial freedom is the way you think. If you believe that because you have a lot of money, you're financially free, then you don't really understand financial freedom. If you believe that things and having the most expensive car, having the most expensive clothes, or whatever the case may be, if you believe that's what creates financial freedom, then you don't really understand what financial freedom is. It's a mindset. It's understanding that you need to change the relationship between money. Instead of you working for money, you have to allow money to work for you. Instead of trying to use your financial resources to convince other people that you have wealth, your wealth has to come from within. So it's about a mindset. It's about how you think. It's about how you understand about, investing. Investing your money wisely. It's about residual income. It's about self-confidence. It's about, having a positive mental attitude. It's about paying yourself first. It's about, all of these things. It's about being determined, and being, staying hungry. It's really about, ownership, owning property. It's all about a mindset. Those who have financial freedom, they think differently, and because of how they think, their subsequent action coincide with their thought process, and allows them to continue to become free financially.
Okay, so you mentioned growing up, you had always heard the saying, more money, more problems. And so it was easy for you to mistake money as an additional problem, which kept it away from you. How had such a saying about money kept it away from you?